me he's gonna film an intro, but it's 4:30 a.m. and we're at the airport. Hi, hello. This is voiceover Courtney recording the intro. Welcome to week 8 of The Artist's Way. So we're starting off this week at the airport, doing our morning pages at the airport. I am on my way to Baton Rouge for a work trip, but first I have a very long layover in Charlotte, North Carolina, so I will pop you in to Charlotte Courtney here in a second. But this week in week 8, I have my work trip, and it starts off with a little bit of chaos, but we eventually get around to the week 8 things, and then I wrap up the week with a trip to Canada. So it's quite a busy week. I get a lot done, and there's a lot to process with chapter 8 of The Artist's Way. So enjoy, and I will catch up with you at the end of this video. All right, so I had a 6-hour layover in the Charlotte airport, and I did not want to sit in the airport for 6 hours. So we're gonna go find a coffee shop and sit, do a little bit of work and sketch, and then maybe hit up a museum on the way back to the airport. So let's go find a coffee shop. So a bit of a disappointment. The museum that I was gonna go to is closed, despite me checking their website and it's saying that they're only closed on like Thanksgiving, New Year's, and Christmas. So I'm gonna head back to the airport for 4.5 hours. I'll check back in probably when I'm in Baton Rouge. Hi, good morning. I am in lovely Baton Rouge, Louisiana for real work, or first job, primary job, full-time job, at any rate. So this may be the only time that I get to film, so I thought I would check in. Yesterday was a bit of a disappointment with the museum not being open, but that's okay. I did some awesome sketching in the airport. I am really trying to get better at people, so I was sketching as the people like walked past. I found a really good area of the airport kind of between two terminals, and I'm pretty happy with some of those drawings. Like, for the 10 seconds that they took me, like, I'm getting better, and people in motion is not something I've really done a lot of, so that was exciting. But I'm gonna go for a run right now, and like I said, I have a really full day of work, so I don't know that I'll be able to get any sketching creative time in. I did my morning pages, so we can check that box, but I am gonna head off for a quick run. It is hot. This is not my climate. If some of y'all live here, let me know, but woo, it is sticky out here. Ooh, but it's pretty, it's very beautiful. But I miss my 40s and 50s in Vermont. But really, really pretty lake views. So let's go for a run. You know what? I'd really kind of rather go grab my sketching things and like sketch that duck on a rock or log or whatever. That's a pretty scene. But we're gonna go for a run instead. Hello, welcome to whatever part of this video we've landed on. It's Thursday. It feels like it's been 2 weeks of week 8. We're in week 8. My notes are over here. But it's not. It's only Thursday somehow. That's because I traveled, which you saw little itty bitty clips of, and then I got home yesterday, ran through Trader Joe's. The main reason I went there is because a friend of mine told me that they had the philodendron pink princesses there, and I realized they're probably lower quality than if I got it from a really good greenhouse. But at the rate I kill plants, I'm not trying to spend that much on that plant. So we have her. We're gonna repot her later. I'm very excited about that. But I don't think I have really talked at all about what week 8 is yet. And we are probably well over 10 minutes into this video. I don't really know what the editing is gonna look like, but it's been a minute. So I have done my morning pages. I did them, I think, every day. I think. In my memory, that's what I did, but the footage will prove whether or not I'm right. And I did my artist date. It was supposed to be going to the museum, But since that didn't work out, I'm counting the coffee shop sketching and also the airport sketching. I'm pretty pleased with how my little people drawings turned out, drawing people in motion for maybe the first time. But I did really enjoy that, and I do feel like I can see some progress in my people drawing. So we've done those things. What we haven't done is discuss anything about what week 8 is. So let's refer to our notes. Week 8 is recovering a sense of strength. And when I was reading through this, it didn't really make like a lot of sense to me, the things she was talking about. And some of it still doesn't really, but I guess I can see a little bit of the like strength building things. It's more like habit building though. But some of the things she talks about are surviving loss, which I've had a lot of practice with that in the last couple of years. So when I think about like artistic losses, I'm like, it's fine. I can't be bothered to care that much after having such a significant personal loss. So maybe it's just not like resonating for me. But she talks about when your art is like rejected or someone doesn't get it. And it also might be because this is not my full-time job. I am not as emotionally tied into it. If someone doesn't appreciate it, in my opinion, like that's fine. That's the point of art. I don't appreciate every single painting that I see in a museum, and clearly someone did, otherwise they wouldn't be in a museum. So I just take the perspective, I guess, that like my art is not for everyone and everyone's art is not for me. So I don't know. I don't, I guess, have that many significant loss feelings around it. And like I've been rejected by shows, and like that's fine. It happens. The other thing that she kind of talked about was like art not working out or having to like let go of a piece. And I'm kind of having to do that with this tomato piece that I have in progress. This is what I wanted to submit to the show, and she ain't ready. I don't want to rush the process. I don't want to force myself to get it done because I know it won't be good if I do that. I know it's going to show if I rush the piece. Like, it's going to be evident that I did not spend time on this. So I'm disappointed that I can't submit that, but I think the piece will still happen. I don't know. I'm not feeling it right now, so I'm kind of just not engaged with it, and I'm okay with that. But if I have to choose between getting it done in time to submit and rushing it or not getting it done, I'm choosing to not get it done. So that's still on me, and I'm not super sad about it. It's like, meh, that didn't happen. The other thing that she talked about is like giving yourself permission to mourn. And I was thinking about like, how do we do that without having like a sense of failure? So that's the part that I could really see about like having to deal with the artistic loss. But how do you separate that from failure? Because if you've put something out there and it was rejected, or like your audience didn't connect with it, they didn't get it, or like pieces don't sell, how do you not let a sense of failure like come into play there? I'm not really sure. Let me know your thoughts on that. I'm still kind of like working through like the strength part of that. I guess it's just like learning to like handle those issues. And one thing she says, instead of saying why me, is to say what next. And I think that's a good way to reframe it. But I guess I also just like really understand the why me mentality. Maybe it's the severe imposter syndrome I have from a career in academia. But I always assume rejection is about to happen, because if you're in academia and you've submitted journal articles, 9 times out of 10, the first couple drafts are rejected. So I'm just, I guess, very comfortable with rejection and it happening a lot. And I just assume that that is what I'm going to get anytime I submit something. So when I do submit something, I'm really surprised that it was accepted, or I'm really surprised when people buy my things. It is still a shock to me every time I get an Etsy order. So I don't know if that's a healthy mindset or a helpful one, but I guess I struggle with her recommendations and like discussion around loss because I don't see it as that big of a deal. But maybe that's, I'm not creating art that like matters enough, that is connected enough. It doesn't say anything. So if it was more a part of me, then maybe I would feel that sense of rejection. I don't know. Let me know what you think. that's where I'm at with chapter 8. I'll talk a little bit more about some of the other recommendations and things and the task for this week a little bit later. But for now, I have that pink princess that I need to repot. So I have some herbs that I also bought, some at Trader Joe's and some today at a store that I stopped by. I have to see if I have enough soil to pot everything, but let's go get some planting done in the kitchen. And then we'll chat a little bit more about chapter 8. All right, well, on that note, I am out of potting soil, so the other 3, they're back here, these guys, and the pink princess. We'll have to wait until tomorrow. Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast ASMR. I got a lot of the planting done yesterday, or potting really. I don't think it's planting if you're sticking it in a pot and filling it up with soil, but at any rate, I got all but 3 plants potted, and then I still need to repot the philodendron. She's over there, hence why I'm pointing with a knife. I needed to mix up the soil for that, and I just did not feel like it yesterday. It was very, very hot outside, and I got annoyed carrying stuff in and out, in and out, in and out. So I am probably going to do that later this afternoon. I have a hair appointment, which is why we've done absolutely nothing with the hair. But chapter 8. That was my point to this. So some of the things she talked about with recovering a sense of strength was like just little daily habits. So just doing something like tidying your space at the end of the day, or washing your brushes so that like everything is ready to go, getting organized. So I can get behind that for sure, because it's those like small little daily steps that make the habit. I kind of also think, either in addition to or in place of the morning pages, I think what would be useful to me is to do like a 10-minute morning daily drawing exercise. So like just a quick sketch to just get warmed up and be able to say that I did something creative today. I did some type of skill practice. So I might try to start that. Building those daily habits, letting go of whatever art losses we may have had. And then I think one of the assignments for this week was to find your happy space, or find a space that like is restorative. And I have that space, and it is a spa in Canada. So that's actually where I'm going tomorrow. Didn't plan that to coincide with this week. Didn't know like that was this week's theme. So that works out really well. So not only do I know where my happy space is, I'm going to go there, and that's very exciting. This spa is like $55 for 5 hours. This is an affordable spa, and it is amazing. So that's my happy space, and I'm excited to go there. But today is Friday. We need to do the work things and some organizing things. So I think that's the plan for the day. I'm gonna put my avocado toast in the toaster, and we'll get started. All right, we've reached the end of the day. It's very much the end of the day because I'm on the struggle bus. I don't know that I have much more output energy in me, but in the interest of following along with week 8 and finding the sense of strength, I will at least clean the desk. I don't think you can see, but there's like piles of stuff down here that need to be organized. All right, let's go do some things that don't take brain power.
Is this brush entirely too big for what I'm trying to use it for?
Absolutely. Okay. So I ended up really frustrated with this tomato piece, as you could hear from my frustration in the video. But I was thinking about that with the sense of loss, and maybe when I think of the word loss, I think of sadness, but how I actually process it might be anger and frustration. So maybe the strength is in knowing when to step away. So it was definitely time to step away from this piece. And I was really glad that this week's assignment was around the happy place and that I happened to already have time in my schedule booked to go to my favorite happy place, which was the spa. So that was really helpful in letting go of my frustrations around the artwork and just kind of checking out for a little bit and enjoying the absolutely beautiful setting and just relaxing for a while. And then I also stopped at the bookstore on the way back home. So that's my other happy place, is definitely the bookstore. So knowing when to step away, knowing when to kind of let something sit and rest for a little bit is really my big takeaway from week 8. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're following along and doing the artist's way as well, let me know how it's going for you. Let me know how you process loss and what your happy place is. But I hope you're having a great week, and I will see you in the next one. There are bugs. Oh, there are bugs. And there are birds. For the 10 seconds that they took me, There's a bug. There's a bug. That's blooper reel. Okay. Why is this? What is happening here? Stay down. Are we good? Are we okay? What's happening? Hold on. Cat toy turned on. Just nothing but chaos. That's the theme of this week. This. Oh, okay, crisis. Well, it's fine. This. All right, these tomatoes are extraordinarily questionable, so we'll see if I regret this later. So, at this point, I went to the... Y'all can tell it's the end of the day, can't you?